Hello guys, I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome you all to this tutorial. So guys, basically in this tutorial we're learning how to build this landing page from scratch. So basically when you hover over this navigation menu, you can see some cool animation going in there. This pink like color is kind of transitioning over our navigation menu, which is cool. Then also when you hover over our buttons, you can see that same pink like color transitioning, and this is cool. So basically we'll be learning how to do this from scratch. Okay, so basically I just created my HTML file, my CSS, then I have my images folder that I've created with some two images, and that's the logo and the background image. So I think now we can start. So let's just have a boilerplate of code here. So I think with the title we can just change it to maybe let's just say web page. Now let's link our HTML file to our CSS. So style.css. Now let's save that. Let's open with live server. Okay, so right now I'm just going to test to see if our CSS file is actually linked successfully. So let's just change the background color to something like red, then save and see. Okay, so I think it has successfully linked, so we can take that off. Then now start building. So now I'm just going to have the background, insert the background image, which let's say div dot, I'll give it a class of banner, and you can save that. Then let's remove the browser default margin and width. So margin say 0, pattern let's say 0. Okay, now we can select our banner, set the width to 100%, then we can set the height to 100. We set the viewport height to 100. Okay, now let's have our background image inserted. So it's background, we are going to have a linear gradient of RGBA 0 0 0. Then we have 0.7 for the alpha, RGBA 0 0 0, then 0.7. okay, now let's have our image, which is in the image folder, and it's bear.jpg. okay, now let's save. Okay, we can see our image here. So basically I just want to have that kind of black color, kind of transparent on it, something of that, so that kind of shadow effect on it. So right now let's just say background size cover, then we have background position. You can just say background position center, and when we save we can actually see that it's now properly placed. Okay, now I think we are done with that. So now let's start building our navigation and setting our logo and all that. Okay, so I'm going to have a navigation of nav bar, the class of nav bar. So inside the nav bar we'll now start importing our image. That's the logo, which is in the images folder, and that's the logo. We are going to give it a class of logo, because we are going to style it class of logo. Then now let's have our navigation items. So it's going over, then let's just say home. Then let's copy that a couple of times. We just copy that and paste and paste. Then we can change this to maybe about, then here to something like contacts. Then here we can just say book, kind of like book a room or something of that sort. Now let's save and see. So we can see this our navigation menu, this our logo. Don't worry, that's why CSS is there for us. We'll style all that. So let's select our nav bar. Then we have it what's explicitly stated here, nav bar. So we are just selecting it. So let's just say we have a display property of flex. Then we are going to align our items to the center. Then we have justify content. Let's just say space around. Then let's save and see what is happening before. Okay, no problem. I think the nav bar, see, it's nav bar here, but I kept nav bar. That's typo errors, so you need to check all that. So nav bar, let's save and see. I think there's still a mistake. Yeah, okay. So nav bar, this typo errors. Okay, so now I think small we are building it like that. So right now I think let's give it some pattern of 35 pixels from top and bottom, then 0. Then we'll give it a margin of 02. So we can just say margin 02. Let's save that and see. Okay, no worries. So let's select our logo. So they will give our logo a width of 150 pixels. Then let's save that and see what happens. Okay, so we can see it shifted here. I think let's change it to space between, so that at least I think this is okay. Yeah, so because it was kind of coming to this side, which is not ideal, so we just wanted to go somewhere this way. So our logo has that. Then we have a margin top of, let's just say margin top of minus 10 pixels. You see, 10 pixels. Then set our cursor to pointer. Let's save and see. Okay, now let's target this our navigation items. So we can now say dot our nav bar UL and LI. Okay, so now let's style, remove the list style items there. Then have a display of inline block. Nope, one block, inline block. Now let's save and see what happens if we state inline block. Okay, so let's add some paddings to it. So actually we can have a padding of 40 pixels for all the sizes. Then you can have a margin top of somewhere maybe minus 80 pixels. Okay, then let's change the text to uppercase, because I think they are in lower cases. So you can check, say text transform, then we say uppercase. Now let's save. Okay, yeah, now I think we can remove the bulletin and all those stuffs. You can change the color and the underline. So now let's select our nav bar. We say UL, LI, then A. Then we have a text decoration of none. Then the color itself, let's set that to white. Yeah, I think let's save and see. I think this is cool. This is okay. Yeah, this is okay. This is okay. Okay. So now what is left? I think now let's now work with our hover effects, so that when we now hover our cursor or our mouse on the navigation menu, we can have that. So we just have to now start working on that. So I think, yeah, because now when we hover nothing happens, so let's do that. Okay, so basically we are going to start. So first thing first, we'll have to copy this. We'll copy that, then we'll say the studio class after. We'll have give it a content of empty, then I think we can give it a width of 100% for now, then give it a height of 3 pixels. Okay, then let's give it a background color. I think with the background color we are going to use the color of this, so I think let me just copy that. So actually this VS Code plugin that I'm using to do that, so just yeah, I think that's okay. Then but let's save and see if something happen. We are not getting anything. Yeah, so let's set the position to absolute, then here the position should be relative. Position should be relative. Then we'll come here, then we say I think left, yeah, left 0, then bottom let's just say 23 pixels. Let's save and see. Okay, now we can see our navigation, the line, so we have to now what kind of make them to what translate, so that when we are hovering over it, this is not how we want it. You can see they are not there, but when we start hovering over them, we can now see them transitioning. So that's what we want. So all we have to do now is we just say dot our nav bar here, then we have ul, they have our li, then we say hover, then we have our after. So now let's take away our weight. So with the way we can just say 0, then we will now say weight, we will now say 100% here. Now transition, this is just the interesting part, just say transition, it says 0.5 second. Now let's save. Cool. Now guys, you can see it. So this is what we want. So yeah, so basically that's just what we want. Cool. The colors aren't that the same, but I just want you guys to get the idea, but it's just almost the same. So now I think now we can now start what to have all these stuffs on the web page. Yeah, so with a start, I think we need to go into our index.html file, then so let's just say we have a div dot, let's just say content, then we have our h1 gonna, let's just say secure a room, then we have our p tag of, so you can just say lorem, let's just say lorem 20. Let's save and see what is happening. Okay, now we can see them here. We will style them later on. So let's copy this, our content. We'll just copy that, then come here, then we say dot content, we'll give that a weight of 100%. Now let's give this top, so basically let's set the position to be absolute, so that we can actually use the top and bottom. So we just say top should be 50%. Then I think we say transform translate y on the y axis should be minus 50%. Then we center align the text, say text align center, then let's save and see. Okay, now you can see them at the center. They are vertically centered. So now let's just say dot content and h1. Let's change the color. I think let's just use the same color. Let's just use that same color. Yeah, sure. So let me see if I can actually increase the color a bit. Let's save and see. Yeah, I think this is okay. So let's change the font size to, let's give it something like maybe 50 pixels. Font size of 50 pixels. Let's save and see. Okay, I think now it's a bit bigger. It's okay. This is okay. We don't want it to be too big. Then we can have, let's select our P2. So dot content P. That way we give it a color of white. Then the font size of something like 20 pixels. Now let's save and see. So actually, let's put this in what, 2 lines, the P. So give it a break. So let's break it somewhere here. So we just say break, then we save. Okay, now let's give it some spacing. We can just say margin, maybe we say 20 pixels, and maybe say, yeah, so I'll just give it some spacing. I think let's increase this font size a bit, the H1, so we can just say 60 pixels, anyone that you like. Okay, so I think this is okay. So now we are left with our buttons. So now we can now start working on our button, guys. So let's have our button. The type is button. Then here is just read more or something of that sort. We have button type of button. Then the text will just say book a room. Let's just say something like that, book a room. Let's save. Okay, so you can see our buttons here. Let's style our buttons. So now let's select our button. Then let's give the button width of 200 pixels and a padding of 20 pixels top and bottom, then 10 pixels left and right. Then we can give it a margin of 10 pixels for all the sizes. Then the background color, let's just say transparent. Background color, let's just say transparent. Let's save and see what's happening. So let's see what's happening. Okay, so right now I think let's give our text color white. Let's say text color white. Then we give it a border radius of 25 pixels, I guess. Yeah, got border radius of 25 pixels. Let's save and see. Okay, I think this is okay. Then you can see text align, let's just say center. Then let's give it a border of, with a border we use this particular color, so we can select that. So we have a border of 1 pixels solid. We'll give this color. Let's save and see. Okay, all right. Then let's say cursor pointer. Now let's just say overflow heading, then position relative. We have position relative. Yeah, let's save that. Okay, so now guys, this is what we want to do. When we hover over this, we can see this transitioning. So with that, let's give this our button some span tags. So just give them a span tag. Give to this one to span tag. Then let's select our span. Let's select our span and give it a width of that same width, 200 pixels. With a span, I think let's give it a width of with a start. Okay, fine. Let's give it a background color actually. So let's just give it a background color of this. So we can give it a width of, let's give it a width of 100% for now. Then we'll give it a height of 100% too. Then let's say position to be absolute. Okay, then we have left, let's say left 0, then bottom 0. So let's save and see what is happening. So guys, we can see that it has now covered this entire button, the background color. So we can use Z index to actually bring it forward. So we just say Z index, let's just say -1 to bring our text color. Okay, so now we can see our text color here. Okay, so now let's hide it. Let's actually hide this because we don't want it to be placed this way. Actually, we want when we hover over it, we will not see it. So all we have to just do is let's remove our weight. Let's just set that to 0. I initially set it to 100 so that you guys can now see. When we save, you see it has disappeared. Good. So that's what I want, so that it wouldn't be there. Then when we hover over it, we can now see it. So let's just say button, then we say hover, then we select our span. So when we are hovering, we want to see it 100%. Then we don't want any border ish. So button, then yeah, hover. So let's just remove any border. So we just say border none. Okay, let's save. So let's hover. This is not what we want. When we just hover, we just see that color, but we don't want that. We want it to kind of what, some cool animation. So all we have to just say, we'll just come to the span time, explicitly say transition. So let's just say transition, then we say 0.5 second, and let's save. Now let's see what happens. Cool. I think this is what we want. Cool. So guys, we've successfully built our landing page. So basically this is how to do it from scratch. So guys, please, if you like the video, consider subscribing and turn on your notification bell so that you can get notified of my latest updates. And please like the video and subscribe for more. God bless you all.